Hello there, everyone. So, welcome to another episode here on Gorbad Ironclaw. So, I've advanced a little bit because otherwise this campaign is going to go on forever, and I kind of want to try and limit these campaigns. I really like the Let's Plays, the prolonged ones, to just, showcase a little bit of how it can go. But I'm going to try to make just some more limited let's play. There's a player called what is it called? Potato Me Whiskey. I think that's what's it called. He's from Civilization, and he does Civilization playthroughs very fast, but he explains everything really well, like what he will do and what the plan is, and then he skips ahead several turns after he explained what he's going to try to do. And that's something that I'm going to try and do with Total War, as in regards to Total War. Like, I'll try to explain this is what we're going to do, and then I'll do it. And then try to divide it into maybe 5-6 phases of the game, and of course go furthermore, or just try and do like maybe the first 20 turns, that sort of idea, and then showcase like 20 turns after. I'll show the 20 turns, and then I'll show from turn 40 to 60, and then I'll show from turn 80 to 100 or something like that, just to showcase a little bit. So what I'm trying to do here is just getting any money that I can. Right now I'm pretty certain that I'm gonna have to fight the Empire. They're trying to destroy Aranessa, and as soon as they do it, they'll declare war on me. There's no doubt about it on my mind, and my only doubt is that when they declare, I'm gonna be on war from all sides. I'm gonna be at war from Tretch, I'm gonna be at war from Whistleland and Null, I'm gonna be at war with Ungrim unless I've destroyed him, I'm gonna be at war with Bretonia down from the south, and from the other dwarves from the south. So it's gonna be a mess, but I'll try to endure. And if I see that it's a mess, like that it's a grinding mess, I'll just stop it there. I'll just try to focus down, try to get to a point where I stabilize, and then I'll showcase how to reach that long victory. Because for sure, getting to the point where I completely destroy the Empire is going to be a nightmare. I'm predicting turn 150 maybe, because they are the top one faction at this point, so that's going to be a mess. Right now I'm focusing on anything that gives me either gold or hero amounts, okay? And I'm focusing on getting scrap so that I can improve my armies as well, and getting anything that gives me either control as well, or buildings that provide me garrisons. This is to delay or to force the enemy into further delays. And this is something that shouldn't be necessary typically. I really wouldn't need it, but the thing is, I don't have a secondary building for gold anymore, because the CA has changed this for the economy of the greenskins, and now you either have a standard income building or you have the sec building, and you cannot build both. So on the next few provinces, I'll try to build the second income if I can, and just see how that develops, okay? Because certainly I want a little bit of it, but I didn't want to go way too much on that. So I'm still building that rock lobber. My armies are nearly kind of complete in terms of what I wanted for them, except some of these armies that just have some stuff in it, And it's kind of difficult with Gorbad, because you always want to have some plans for them, but at the same time, it's not like the plans are made for optimized armies either, So that's a little bit. Now I do have money for one extra army, which I'll try. I'll try to get the scrap for Gorbad's army the most. Okay, so I'm gonna try this time to go straight for Raknik's army, Gorbad's army, and the other army that I have, Azog's, if not mistaken, and then like one army at a time, focusing on scrap, like Tricky's army here. It should be fine as well. But I need at least in every location 2 armies to be completely fine with it, you know. I could have confederated with the bloody hands, you know, with Wurzag, but that would put me in such a bad position because it's just going further south, and I really want to go to Altdorf. I really want to take out the Empire because it's part of the objectives, and it's kind of thematic, so that's kind of what I want to go for. In terms of scrap, I really think the greenskins would require doubling the scrap or just reducing the scrap requirements by half, because it just doesn't compile to ensuring that every single unit gets the scrap that they need. So I would perhaps give you, you know, maybe the income building could give scrap per turn, or maybe the sack building could give some scrap per turn, so that you have some decision making there. Or maybe the income building could give research as well, and the scrap building could give the second building could give scrap. So you have that choice. Now this I'm not going to auto resolve. Certainly I'm not going to lose all that's for sure, and I'm glad I didn't fight the previous battle that I ended up on episode 33, because this one is going to be a much more interesting battle. He has some Thunderbarges here as well. He has Ungrim still, so yeah, I think I can still demonstrate how strong this army is, and we still don't have all the research, we still don't have all the upgrades, so it's still interesting to me how it takes time to develop all that, but it's cool. It's cool. So let's fight it out. The most interesting part here is that they're all very vulnerable actually to missiles. So my missile units are going to have a field day. They'll need to go everywhere around. And this is actually a battle that I was demonstrating on my on the auto resolve video. If you haven't checked that out, please go check that out. It speaks a little bit of how auto resolve works and everything, and I still haven't shown everything, but it does demonstrate a little bit of how the AI calculates auto resolve and the strengths and let's say the strengths and weaknesses of how that system works, and of course how CA can do this, you know, how CA can improve that system. To be fair, with all the variables that it has, it's actually an excellent system. I have to defend, you know, give credit where it's due. With all the variables there is, you know, simply auto resolving, like in a second, deciding, you know, tons of variables, is nuts for me. I mean, I at least, yeah, I'm 40 years old. I remember when computers were busy calculating just a couple of variables. So the hundreds and thousands sometimes of variables that they do now, it's completely insane for me. So the plan here, sorry, instead of speaking of the plan, I didn't. I'm gonna surround with my spider riders, mainly because they do get bonuses when flanking. And I want to avoid their front line. Their front line would demolish my spiders, because they're all very good versus large. They're all slayers. And I want my spider missile units to take shots at them, and then they'll focus the Slayer Pirates and the Thunderbarges or anything that doesn't have shields. And in the meantime, I have 3 summons all at a time. I'm going to send the summons in just to keep them busy, and that's a key part of this army, because between the summons and between the heroes and the lord and between the spiders themselves, I have just so much meat to throw at them that the missile units can do their job easily, and it's such a mobile army. This is actually not the best map even, and you can see how the mobility works. Like, I'm gonna take that flame cannon. I don't think it shoots a single shot, you know. I don't think it takes a single shot, and I didn't have too much of an issue doing this. There's not, it seems like a super difficult army to micromanage, but it's more like just a decision making, you know, who to shoot, who to hit. This is a poorly casted Purple Sun, yes, mostly because I was focusing on another area, but it still makes this unit just stop in their tracks and be attacked from behind, which it ends up okay. It ends up all right. A little bit of a waste of mana, but I guess it's fine. So some of their units are already half health, which is amazing, and it's all due to the summons, all due to the attacks from my missile units, which now will start focusing on the more important unshielded units. I have been targeting their Doom Seekers, I've been targeting their Giant Slayers, which are dangerous, and now I'm going to focus fire on the Thunderbarges. And it's just 2 Thunderbarges. My spiders have gone around and started attacking the grudge rakers. So yeah, Giant Slayers have been the target of my artillery units, my spider slingers. That's a very good target for them. Okay. Just because you gotta get rid of the Giant Slayers. They're just good against anything that I have in this army, so you gotta get rid of those. Okay, and that's such an important aspect to have always. You always gotta be careful of knowing what your weakness is and identifying it. For instance, the Thunderbarges, yes, they're gonna do damage, but they're not the main target here. They're not the main issue here. They're not the units that I'm gonna go like... I have plenty of opportunities against them. My missile units can do enough damage against them. You know, they are armor piercing. I have plenty of ammunition to deal with them. My own bolt throwers are just enough to deal with them because they're so static that they're gonna hit all the targets, and you don't even see the shots. You just saw some of the shots go through, and suddenly look at those Thunderbarges. They're already half health, you know, and it hasn't been that long that my bolt throwers have been attacking. So yeah, and right now they're already retreating. All that is left is some Slayer units, the unbreakable ones, and they're already very low on health because I've been doing a ton of targeting on them. So at this point, whenever your battle is nearly won, my recommendation is always to go back, just retreat everyone from melee to ensure that you don't lose units unnecessarily, okay? And then reassess who's alive. Ungrim is alive, of course, you can see almost full health, but is there anyone alive that can cause damage, like a missile unit, like the Slayers? And then just evaluate, I'm going to send this unit there, I'm going to send this unit there, I'm going to send these guys to pursue those, I'm going to stop firing these units just so that I don't cause friendly fire. So whenever the battle is won, there's still decisions that you need to do, and those are the easier ones. You can even pause the battle, regardless if you're on legendary, pause the battle and just think to yourself, okay, what I gotta do is minimize casualties from your own units, and to do that, it becomes easier with time, okay? So I'm not going to show you Ungrim getting killed because it takes like 5 minutes. But the idea is just that I sent summons and summons and summons until I had no more summons. I wasted every single ammunition spell against him, and eventually he died. And I have my single entities to deal with him. Even though he is a good one against the Arachnok spiders, it's not like he can hold 4 of them, after being already depleted. So yeah, he did a lot of damage, but he died, and that's how you deal with Thunderbarges. You just bring some spiders. And the spider army led by Arachnok, man, I cannot tell you how much I love this last DLC because of the addition of this army, because it just made him so cool. And yeah, it's just so nice to see this. So a difference between VH and Legendary is how much that guy has survived, the one in the forest, because on VH you can conquer that forest, and on Legendary you cannot, because Thorgrim attacks you much sooner. Okay, and by the way, I won that without Brood Mothers. Okay, I won that without the damage per second, which does tremendous damage to those to those melee based stuff. So it's one of those things. I didn't even have net them up because I lost that that one. I lost. I didn't have web weaving to reduce their melee defense and the speed, you know, and the vigor per second. So there was a lot of stuff that I didn't have, you know. And ambush success chance plus 50% seems a lot. Okay. And finally, I'm up to the point where I can get just some spells for this guy. Sneaky stealing seems fine. It's a passive ability for minus power recharge for the enemy. But oh, okay, Gork will fix it. It's also a nice and vindictive glare, of course. And yeah, let's get slippery. Finally, Snagla can be good in battle as well. Let's get some spells. Of course, Fative Buena. Aspect of the Dread Knight. Yes, why not? So, overall, yes, I'm gonna capture this place. I need 5 more turns for that. That's quite fine. And I'm bringing in Erog, Backbiter. You can see how it's really not necessary to bring, you know, full tier 5 armies or a Doom stack, you know, like people mention it. You don't need Lightning Strike or anything like that. But of course, it's turn 91. It's not like everyone likes to play this way. I just find it, you know, a little bit more fun to let the AI have some form of a better challenge, you know, for you. Maybe I'll have to change it up a little bit with the new AI, depending on how the CA does the beta changes. They are working on a little bit of the campaign AI and battle AI, so who knows? I'll have to adapt a little bit later on. But for now, I'm glad with how it works. Okay, I don't have to, you know, go back or anything like that. If I find myself that I have to go back or restart a campaign or something like that, then I'll reconsider and think, oh yeah, maybe I'll have to reconsider the strategy. But so far, so good, you know. Yeah, I need some garrisons around all this area, that's for sure. And I'm gonna start raiding the Empire. Because why not? I mean, I really need... I think I'm going to raid Eckendorf. It's from the Empire. And I'm very... It's very dangerous if the Empire merges with... You know, if they confederate with Wissenland. Because if they do, they become insanely powerful. They're already like number 1 and number 2 in power, or number 1 and number 3 or something like that. So that's insane. And then we have the end game approaching in like 20 turns. So we're going to have some challenges. And the WOG is going to finish in like 9 turns. So yeah, that's going to be dangerous. Let me see what I can do here. Yeah, research. I really want everything from the scrap here.
There be some changes round here.
And I haven't really invested in too much in having research or scrap stuff. Let me get a little bit more, yeah, more gold from this. I don't want the creeping death because it would lure me into some fights with Tretch that I really don't want, because for some reason they're at war with Tretch. And building upgrades, yes, of course, I'm gonna go for it. Let me see. The sec value is enormous. I mean, Karakadrin gave me 40k of sec value.
This magic is real.
Let me see if I can ambush these armies. Yeah, definitely. That's good. That's great. That's a decisive victory, and it's an ambush, so that's cool. And I'm just gonna skip a little bit ahead on these fights. I did fight them just to ensure that I didn't take too many casualties. I'm gonna take this guy outside, I think so. Yeah, then take the city in itself. Do I want to fight it? Do I want to fight it? Yeah, sneaky stealing it, why not? I need to advance there. Let's get survivalist finally. This guy's gonna get that. It certainly tells me a violent defeat, but I'll continue the siege. I cannot wait for Ungrim to be defeated, because that'll be such a nice moment in the campaign. And then suddenly I'm gonna be fighting the Empire forever. That's just gonna be it. After defeating those guys, I'll be fighting the Empire forever, and it's not exactly the best. I don't think I have the best armies to fight the Empire, but then again, I don't have the best armies to fight the dwarfs either, and I've been doing a good job at it. And yep. Oh, there's some gold there to be done, so that's okay. Do I want to unlock there? I think I'm gonna go for some raiding stuff. In some of these new stuff. Yep, I'm gonna have to go for that. But it's getting difficult to decide and to choose what buildings to go for in some occasions, because I really want the scrap gained per turn and stuff. But it's not like I'm gaining way too much compared to the amount of scrap that I need to take, And oh, I haven't built this one. Oh god, it gives a hero recruit rank everywhere. So hold on, let me stop some buildings. Likely it's gonna have to be, it's gonna have to be this. I think it was 6,000 or something. Let me see, buildings. It's gonna be some garrisons that I'm gonna have to stop. Yeah, it still don't have enough. I'm gonna have to stop some garrisons. There we go. I think that's enough. Where is it? It's Death Gorge. We see it. There we go. 6,000. Oh, that's expensive. And I'll need 2,400. Should I go for that as well? Yeah, I should, because that's upkeep. So, you remember when I said I need all those garrisons? Turns out that I need money more. Yeah, I just need money more. Yep. I was just checking what the building was. So this is the weakest location that I have. I just hope that Gorbad Ironclaw can do enough damage or enough resistance there. Because all I'm focusing now is defeating Ungrim, getting rid of him, then maybe just ensuring that Tretch is no more, and just reinforcing the locations from that are nearby the Empire and going full on against the Empire. And I don't know how I'm going to deal with the south areas. I'm just hoping that they are not going to attack. And famous last words, right? Famous last words. But we always have to think, well, no, I always have to think that it's cool. But yeah, we always have to think that it's gonna be fine. Let's see, quick deals. I think if I confederate Grimgore, I get way enough stuff to finish them up. But I'll see you guys on the next episode. I'll likely advance some turns. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next one. Bye bye.